I was operating kind of with the mindset of how to buy 25 or maybe 50. And he's operating with the mindset of how to manage 150 and how to go commercial in these bigger deals. Right. And so I was very blessed that my parents had rentals. Right. So I 100% consider my father a mentor because once I was interested in how to buy and how to manage and all of those, that's what he loved talking about too, right? So he would talk freely about it and his experience. So that was very beneficial in my start. I joined very early on, I joined the local RIA and went to meetups and tried to hang out with other investors. And it was, I had different thresholds, right? Where in the beginning, I did everything. And that works amazing until it doesn't, right? Until you scale to the point where you can't do everything. And it was, I think, about 25 doors. I was really struggling. And I ended up hiring a new contractor, in house handyman who could work totally independently of me. And that was an amazing breakthrough, right?
Sure.
And then at about it was just over 50 doors, I was just miserable, right? You think like the more assets you acquire, the easier life gets. But if you don't have those systems of management, it's just like packing a bigger burden on you, right? And
Right.
it's like putting more weights on the bar at the gym. There's a breaking point where until you get a better system, it just won't work. And so I ended up hiring my first coach. Then that was 2019, and I hired him primarily to help me with property management issues. And it was amazing. In a very short amount of time, I went from miserable, not wanting to get out of bed in the morning, to all of a sudden I was excited again. I had an assistant, I had contractors, I had systems. So things were happening regardless of me, and was able to start buying again, which, for any investor, that's the most exciting part, is that acquisition and growth and seeing new opportunities. And so I hired him. He's a great guy, a Christian guy, and I hired him for property management. What I didn't realize was that truly the most valuable part of that whole thing, right? Never hiring a coach, it was kind of like a leap of faith, because he throws out this number that, I need to spend or invest to gain this knowledge. And to me, going into it, I thought it was an expense, which is totally wrong. But then it looks really bad, right?
Sure.
And as investors, we're always trying to cut expenses. And I thought I didn't recognize the benefits and realize what could come from a coaching relationship.
Okay.
So
Yeah.
um, I went in looking for property management. What I came out with was a totally different perspective, right? I was operating kind of with the mindset of how to buy 25 or maybe 50, and he's operating with a mindset of how to manage 150 and how to go commercial in these bigger deals, right? And
Right.
so the way that he thought about problems and the way he saw issues in my business was completely different than the way I saw issues in my business. And, over time, probably within 6 months, I thought, man, this is the most valuable thing I've ever done. And I just tried initiating those conversations constantly to get his perspective on things, because if I could adopt his perspective, then I could rise and handle a much bigger business.